Rosenstrike has 6 losses. Those are to, like,
And how many
Francis
wins?
Ngannou, Curtis Blades, Volkov, like, literally
All
just
these
the top
are
guys.
trash.
They're literally the top 5 guys in the world. So you're just saying heavyweight is trash. That's all you're saying. Paulo Costa needs to fight anyone outside of the rankings. He has 0 wins in the rankings, and he's still ranked number 12. How is that possible?
He's still good. Like, dude.
Name a win. Name a Paulo Costa win.
Bro,
No. Don't filibuster. Name me a Paulo Costa win.
Listen.
Okay,
listen.
no, we're moving on.
No. Hear me out.
No,
hear me
there's
out.
no need to.
Hear me out, hear
There's
me out,
no
hear me out.
need to hear you out.
Arguably.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I am sorry that we did not release a video last week, but we will have everything covered this week. I was sick last week, but we are going to talk about Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes. We're going to talk about Izzy versus Imavov, and we're going to do predictions for UFC 312. I'm your host, Justin, and on today's episode, I am joined, as always, by Elijah. How's your 2 weeks been, Elijah?
It's been good.
It's been good. There's been a lot of MMA on recently. We've officially gotten back into the MMA swing. Every weekend now, from now until like April 12th, there's a UFC fight. Yeah, every week. So that's pretty exciting. Got a lot to cover. Last week I was sick, so we did not get a chance to cover Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes. I don't think you ended up watching it. I did watch it. I watched the whole fight. It was a very good fight, and I had a lot of strong opinions on it. I went all over X, and I was very active in the conversation on X. For me, I think that the most you could do is give Paul Hughes a draw. I don't see how a lot of people online are saying that Paul Hughes might have won the fight. Just for a little context, Usman did win the fight. He won it by, I think it was majority decision, and he won. Technically, he won 3 rounds because 1 round was a draw because of a point deduction. So if that point deduction didn't happen, it would have been 4 rounds to 1, which is, I think, the problem that most people are having online.
Yeah.
They don't think the fight was 4 rounds to 1. They think that Paul Hughes at least won 2 to 3 rounds. If Paul Hughes won 2 rounds, as long as it wasn't the third, if Paul Hughes won 2 rounds, then that would have made it a draw.
Yeah.
If Paul Hughes won only 1 round, then it's Usman's, and if he won 3 rounds, then it was Paul Hughes. So that point deduction in the middle round really threw stuff off. But I've rewatched the fight now. I don't see how you could score either round 1 or round 5 for Paul Hughes or round 3. Yeah. I think clearly Usman won round 1, 3, and 5, which really makes me wonder what rounds you guys think Paul Hughes won. So please leave it in the comments. I mean, I'm genuinely curious. I haven't gotten an answer to that question.
What type of fighter is Usman Nurmagomedov?
He's kind of more like Umar, where he's got like snappy kicks. He's got good striking.
Yeah.
And he can rely on his wrestling if he needs to.
Right.
He's got submissions. He's got the ground game. But
What weight class?
This is 155. But he is more of a striker than the rest of the family. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, he usually goes out there and ragdolls people. But
he's the best striker of the family?
I think Umar is probably the best striker of the family. A lot of people say Islam, even though Islam's not a part of the family. You know what we mean.
Yeah.
But I'd say that Umar is probably the best striker in the family. Usman is really good, though.
Do you think that if Islam was to leave the division and retire or go as he goes,
I think that's the next step. I think Usman is eventually going to run out of his contract with the PFL, sign with the UFC, make his way up the rankings, and then Islam might not be there by that point. That would probably be a couple of years from now.
Because how old is Usman?
He's only like 26, 27.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's young. So he's still got time before he gets into that ranking.
Yeah.
But I think by then Islam will either retire, move up to welterweight, lose the title, possibly. I think that's the least likely, honestly. But by that point, I think the path will be cleared for Usman to win. I don't know if he can win the title. Honestly, I don't think Paul Hughes is that great of a fighter. I've watched him fight. I don't think he's that great of a fighter. And he took Usman to the limit. But I've also seen Usman destroy people like Benson Henderson.
Yeah.
So, not destroy, but he finished Benson Henderson. He finished a lot of really good guys. This was a little bit of an off fight for him. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was from his brother losing the week before.
Yeah.
Kind of got in his head a little bit. But a draw is arguable. I'd be fine with arguing for a draw. But Paul Hughes winning the fight, I don't see it. I think you either got to go Usman won the fight or it's a draw. But that's only because of the point deduction in the third. If you don't count the point deduction in the third, Usman won the fight, in my opinion, no matter what way you look at it. I gave it 1-3-5 to Usman guaranteed. And then I said that the fourth round was kind of the swing round, but I see a lot of people online saying the second round is. I don't see it. I think Usman clearly won. I think Usman could arguably have won all the rounds, but I think Paul Hughes round 2 is probably the closest one. I don't know though. I'm not a judge. I'm not an MMA judge. I just give my opinion. But now that that's out of the way, I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit because I've been simmering on that for 2 weeks now. We could move into Adesanya versus Imavov. The 3 most important fights were the 3 last fights. Those are the ones that we're going to cover. Sergey Pavlovich took on Jairzinho Rozenstruik. And it was another boring decision by Sergey Pavlovich. This guy went from a wrecker, a mauler, a dude that knocked everyone out on his way to the title.
Yeah.
And then got knocked out by Tom Aspinall. And now he's the most timid fighter in the world.
Styles make fights.
Styles do make fights, but I do think that Sergey Pavlovich has taken his foot off the gas a little bit when it comes to the first round fighting. He used to just walk out there and throw hands. Now he's kind of a little more technical. I think that Tom Aspinall honestly scared it into him. Like, dude, any one of these heavyweights can knock you out, so be careful. So I think he is being a little bit too careful now. But that's just my opinion on it. I do think that Sergey Pavlovich is still a force in the division. He's only had 2 losses to Tom Aspinall and Alexander Volkov. Also to, obviously, Alistair Overeem in his debut fight, but he's not in the company anymore. Out of the active guys on the roster, he's basically the number 3 guy. I'd still put him above Cyril Gane. I want to see that fight next. I think Cyril Gane versus Sergey Pavlovich is the fight to make.
To Pavlovich?
I'd put Pavlovich over Gane in the rankings right now because, I mean, they've beaten the same guys.
Over Blades?
I'd put both of them over Blades. Blades is like my number 6 guy in the division.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, where would you put Blades? Blades got knocked out by Pavlovich.
Number 4?
Where would you put Curtis Blades?
Number 4.
Number 4 above who? Above the guy that knocked him out, Sergey Pavlovich?
Where's Pavlovich?
I'd put him at number 4. No, I would go, if I was making a heavyweight rankings, I'd go Tom Aspinall, John Jones. This is just my personal.
Yeah.
This is just my personal. Who I think the best in the division is Tom Aspinall, John Jones. Then I'd go, oh man, I want to say Jahilton Almeida, even though he got knocked out by Curtis Blades. I want to go Jahilton Almeida because that could have just been fucking
Styles
luck.
make fights.
Styles do make fights, which is why I think that Jahilton Almeida might still be a better fighter than Curtis Blades. I'd probably go Jahilton Almeida. Then I would go Sergey Pavlovich, Cyril Gane, Curtis Blades. But you can move Almeida out of there. I get it. It's still early.
So you think John Jones clears everyone under them?
I kind of, I mean, styles make fights, like you said. I think that Cyril Gane or Sergey Pavlovich could beat John Jones because Sergey Pavlovich has that punching power, even though he hasn't been using it lately, which now that I know that Sergey Pavlovich hasn't been using his punching power lately, now I'm starting to be like, okay, maybe John Jones would win.
Yeah.
Once I see that out of Tom Aspinall, maybe I'll have that thought too. Maybe it'll be like, oh, well, maybe Tom Aspinall is not the guy he used to be anymore.
Yeah.
Sergey Pavlovich is kind of proving he's not the guy he was 2 years ago anymore. Little bit other thing I wanted to talk about. Jairzinho Rozenstruik is not with the UFC anymore. He lost to Sergey Pavlovich, and they cut him from the UFC.
Yeah, nobody really cares about him.
Yeah, but he was like number 8 in the division, and now in the division, number 15 ranked is Dante Miles? Do you even know who that is?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
He has like 2 wins in the UFC.
You don't know Dante Miles?
Dude.
Come on.
I'm
an expert.
No, the heavyweight rankings look abysmal now. There's literally no name value from number 10 to 15. And Jairzinho Rozenstruik has only lost to the best guys in the division. Why would they cut him? They kept Tai Tuivasa, who literally just got beat by Rozenstruik.
He brings more fans.
I get that, but like this isn't about fans. It's the best fighters in the world fighting each other.
He probably just had a bad off day. Maybe Rozenstruik was the problem.
No, Rozenstruik has 6 losses. Those are to like Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades, Volkov, like literally
All
just the
guys
top guys.
Trash.
They're literally the top 5 guys in the world. So you're just saying heavyweight is trash. That's all you're saying.
I mean, it's not that.
If you think that if you think that number 3, 4, and 5 are ass, then the entire division is ass.
It pretty much is. If they can let a light heavyweight like John Jones come up and rule the division, they're trash. They're complete trash.
I agree that the heavyweight is not what it used to be. But
heavyweight's never been good.
Hey, we still got Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall is probably he's a prodigy.
Yeah.
But all right. So do you think that there's any if John Jones was to pull off beating Tom Aspinall, what do you think that would put Tom Aspinall? Do you think he could come back from that, or is he just like done?
Yeah, he could come back for that because John Jones would probably then retire, and then Tom Aspinall would more than likely be in the next title fight, like the vacated title. It'll more than likely be like Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane or something. If John Jones beats Tom Aspinall in June, there'd be an undisputed title fight between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane in December. Like, because John Jones would retire, the belt would be vacated, and then Tom Aspinall... He would retire.
No, if John...
You think John Jones is going to go fight fucking Sergey Pavlovich?
No, he's going to fight Pereira.
Dude. Pereira's going to get beat by Ankalaev, and then that dream is dead.
Okay. Fair. But look at it like this. If Pereira was to... Well, fight hasn't happened. If he beats Ankalaev, and then he's like, oh, I want to blah, 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 heavyweight, because he'll then deserve it, correct? Well, hypothetically. He'll then deserve it. And then if John Jones was to hypothetically... I
still think it's a bad idea. Even if he deserves something, I can still think it's a bad idea. What? Alex Pereira would get whooped at heavyweight.
No, he would not against John Jones.
Dude, John Jones would take him down like he took down Cyril Gane. How many times do we have to talk about this? Cyril Gane's a black belt.
Huh?
Cyril Gane's a black belt. I'm using your logic against you. Cyril Gane's a black belt. John Jones took him down so easily. Alex Pereira's a black belt. He's going to get taken down so easily too. And he weighs 30 pounds lighter. And hasn't been wrestling as long as Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane has been in MMA for twice as long as Alex Pereira.
If we're talking about a fight, right? John Jones and Alex Pereira are actually the same age. They're like a week apart.
That doesn't matter.
They're a week apart.
I don't care about age. I care about what they look like in the octagon and what they do.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? If they were to both step in the octagon, these two grown men, same age, same guys, right? If you look at their physiques, Alex Pereira's physique is way more muscular than John Jones.
Physique means
way
nothing.
More in shape. That means a lot when two old guys are fighting.
No, physique means nothing.
When two old guys are fighting.
Let me ask you this. What is Alex Pereira's shortest knockout? Shortest time? You want to look it up? You can look it up. Go ahead, look it up. The point I'm trying to make is that you're going to look it up. It's going to say 2 minutes and 53 seconds or something. And it's going to be on Sean Strickland. Am I right? His shortest knockout in the UFC.
It was a left hook sending Prohaska to the ground.
No, I'm talking about knockout. What is his fastest knockout? It's going to be Sean Strickland. It's going to be like 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And then tell me, after you're done looking that up, tell me how long it took for John Jones to shoot on Cyril Gane.
It says that his fastest knockout was at 13 seconds to the second round of June.
No,
UFC 303. Yeah. 13 seconds.
No, 13 seconds into the second round. That's what that said. That means 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Sean Strickland was quicker. He knocked Sean Strickland out in like 2 minutes.
3-round fight.
That is not what I'm talking about. I am saying Alex Pereira's fastest knockout was 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
How long did it take for John Jones to shoot on Cyril Gane? Rough estimate. 20 to 30 seconds?
Okay, after the nut shot.
20 to 30 seconds? Am I right?
Maybe like 40.
How long?
Maybe about
okay,
40.
40.
40 to a minute.
Okay, so Alex Pereira's shortest knockout ever was on Sean Strickland, and it was at 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
John Jones shot on Cyril Gane in 30 seconds.
Okay, but think about...
So you're telling me that Alex Pereira is somehow going to get his fastest knockout of his career against the best ever? Is that what you're telling me right now? He's going to get his fastest knockout of his career on John Jones.
Alex Pereira.
He's gonna make John Jones look easier than Sean Strickland. That's what you're trying to tell me?
John Jones is more threatened by Pereira's skill set than Tom Aspinall's.
No, he's not, because they have the exact same skill set, except Tom Aspinall has more punching power. And better wrestling. And much better wrestling. That's why he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. He doesn't know if he could take down Tom Aspinall in time. Because there's a ticking time bomb with Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira. Ticking time bomb. One good punch can put you on your ass. So John Jones is going to shoot. He's going to shoot right away, just like he did on Cyril Gane. And if he touches Alex Pereira's legs, you already know that that's the end of the fight. Can we both agree that if John Jones gets a takedown on Alex Pereira, the fight's over?
I mean, it's all on the flip of a coin. I can't really put my finger on it.
No, I'm saying if John Jones gets Alex Pereira to the ground, do you think the fight's over?
He's a black belt.
So was Cyril Gane.
Cyril Gane was washed up. Been inactive.
All right, moving on. Shara Bullet versus Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page moving up a weight class, gets the decision win over Shara Bullet, putting Shara Bullet at 15-1 now. Michael Venom Page looked really good moving up a weight class. I was very impressed.
He did look good.
He was snappy. He was still moving the exact same. And Shara Bullet had nothing for him. Literally nothing for him. Couldn't do anything for him. Whatever. And Michael Venom Page is now calling out Yuri Prohaska at light heavyweight.
Shara Bull's a light heavyweight?
No, he's a middleweight.
Oh.
Michael Venom Page wants to move up another weight class to go fight Yuri.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Don't do that, but congratulations on your win over Shara Bullet. It was an impressive fight, impressive
Yuri
victory.
Just beat former champion Jamal Hill.
We're not talking about this right now. We've got a lot more to cover. We've got the main event to talk about, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov, and then we're going to go on to predict for UFC 312. So, Israel Adesanya, Nasruddin Imavov. It was going really well for Izzy until it wasn't. There was the eye poke. Izzy tried to do the Pereira thing, like, no, don't worry, I'm good, to the ref. They got back into their flow. Nasruddin caught him with the cleanest right hand, and then a nice uppercut up against the cage, and it was over from there. I think that the ref actually, if I was the ref, I probably would have stopped it after that uppercut against the cage.
He's Izzy. Granite chin.
Dude, he looked unconscious. When Nasruddin hit him with the right hand, he bounced off the cage, and then he caught him with that uppercut. Dude, Izzy flopped to the ground. I thought he was unconscious. I thought he was out cold.
He was still good.
Yeah, but he didn't look like it. He looked unconscious when he got hit.
Poker face.
Whatever. I probably would have called it at that point. He ended up getting a few more seconds, couldn't recover in time, and they called off the fight. Is the question now, was Izzy ever good? No, I'm just kidding. Izzy is good. He was good. Is Izzy getting washed up?
No, I still think he's a championship contender.
I do too. I think that he had one bad fight.
I think he should fight Paulo Costa.
Fuck no. I think Paulo Costa needs to fight anyone outside of the rankings. He has 0 wins in the rankings, and he's still ranked number 12. How is that possible?
He's still good. Like, dude.
Name a win. Name a Paulo Costa win.
Bro,
No. Don't filibuster. Name me a Paulo Costa win.
Listen.
Okay,
listen.
no, we're moving on.
No. Hear me out.
No,
hear me
there's
out.
no need to. There's no need to hear you out.
He arguably almost won a split decision against Sean Strickland.
No, he didn't. He lost all 5 rounds. He lost 4 rounds to 1.
He won the round 49-46.
No.
That
Moving
round was
on.
a
No, we're done.
49-46.
We're done talking about this.
He
we
won
are
a round
done.
against the
We are not talking about this right now. It is a ridiculous scorecard from one judge in that fight, and everyone said that it was a wrong scorecard. We're not talking about this. Izzy versus Imavov. I think Izzy got caught with a right hook that he wasn't expecting, and I don't think this is actually something that is going to keep happening to him. I think everyone gets caught now and again, and I think he just got caught. It happens. He was still looking good in the fight, and I still think that he can come out and look very impressive in his next fight. My biggest problem is that I don't want to see Nasruddin Imavov in a title fight. That is my problem. I don't think that Nasruddin Imavov has that good of wins. I mean, this is his one good win. He has a loss to Sean Strickland, and his other wins are like Brendan Allen, Roman Dolidze. It's like these like 10 through 15 guys, and then all of a sudden he beats Izzy. He doesn't even have the star power like an O'Malley had when O'Malley did it. He's just got nothing. He's so bland.
He should fight Paulo Costa.
No. Why do you keep wanting to see Paulo Costa fight?
He's still good.
No, he's not.
He arguably almost won.
Name me one win that Paulo Costa has in the rankings. In the UFC. Name one person he's beaten in the UFC right now.
He beat him
in the UFC currently. Not someone that's retired or someone that's
Jarrett Cannonier.
No, he didn't.
He beat
he hasn't. It's a
trick.
trick.
Name Gustavo, Kevin Gastelum.
Dude, it's a trick question. He has 0 wins over anyone in the UFC. It was a trick question. Paulo Costa's not good. Let's stop talking about him. We're talking about the actual good guys in the division. So, who do you think should get the next title fight against the winner of next week? Do you think it should be Chimaev or Imavov, or do you think they should fight each other to decide that?
First of all, no. We're not gonna put Imavov against Chimaev. Chimaev's done enough. We're gonna wait. We're gonna let. Actually, you know what? Have Chimaev at the fight. Have him be right there when the fight is over.
So no matter what, Chimaev gets the next title fight?
Yeah, he has
So
to.
what do you have Imavov do to wait? He can't just fight back down the division now after he just knocked out Israel Adesanya.
Wait.
He's going to have to wait a year. He's going to have to wait a long time. I would, though. I'd wait. Or he fights the loser of DDP versus Sean Strickland.
Fair.
That could be a way to do it. Because he has a loss over Sean Strickland, but that was on short. Well, it was short notice for Sean Strickland. But Strickland did weigh 15 pounds more than Nasruddin Imavov. He weighed in 15 pounds heavier. But Strickland also did just fight Jared Cannonier like 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Sean Strickland deserved that win. I think he earned that shit. But a rematch might be fun. DDP versus Imavov would definitely be a fun fight. I don't want to see it for a title, but that would definitely be a fun fight. They're both very awkward in their styles. But yeah, so Israel Adesanya now on a 3-fight losing streak. Lost by decision, lost by submission, lost by knockout. He got the trilogy. He got the Trinity. I don't know where you go with Izzy now. He's probably gonna have to fight lower down the rankings. He's already beaten most of the guys lower in the rankings than him, so hopefully they get some fresh meat in there.
Yeah.
Bo Nickel. I don't know.
What if Izzy,
not yet.
What if Izzy was to relap the division under him again and then make a comeback?
I did see something Marvin Victori posted on Twitter. He was just like, he said something like, the only way Izzy wins a fight now is if he fights me. I was like, Marvin Victori is a savage. He just roasted himself. He just called himself a bad fighter. But yeah, so middleweight steaming up. There's a lot of big things happening in middleweight. Speaking of middleweight, I think it's time to predict for UFC 312. We are going to do the whole card because he talked me into it. I didn't want to do the whole card because the card sucks. But we're going to do it anyways because it favors him. Because he's somehow really good at predicting guys that he has no clue who they are. He just takes random guesses and he gets them right. Oh, I don't want to read these names. These names suck. No offense to all of you guys on this card, but your names suck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. The first name on the card, I'm just going to spell it for you. Because I'm not saying, I'm going to spell you this name that you're making me say because you want to do the whole thing. You ready?
Yeah.
Nyamjargal. Okay, now his last name. You ready for his last name?
Yeah.
Tumenderel. You want to go ahead and try and say that?
Yamargal Temendabaro.
Oh my God.
Temendabaro.
Good luck to John Anik, Michael Bisping, and Daniel Cormier because you guys got a handful on this night. You guys are going to have to learn a lot of names. Jeez, this first guy's name is going to take you all night just to remember it. No offense to this guy. He's 18-1. I'm sure he's a great fighter. Yeah, the N is probably silent. Yumjurger.
Yamager.
I want to try this last name. Temendabarrel? Okay.
Yeah.
Temendabarrel versus Park Hyun Sung. Park Hyun Sung is 9-0-0, and Temendabarrel is 8-1. Just because I don't want to write his name anymore, I'm picking the other guy. I don't even care that I'm saying it. I'm picking Park. 3, 2, 1. All right, you got...
Nancy.
Yeah, go for it. You say his name. I'm not doing it anymore. All right. Next up, we've got Quinlan Salkelid versus Anshul Jubilee. Yeah, sure. We'll go with it. I think I nailed that one.
Yeah.
Both are 7-1. I guess it's a coin flip. I don't know. Why are we doing this right now? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I got AJ.
I got AJ too. All right. You know what? You read the next one. I'm sick of this.
All right. Next up, we got Jonathan McAuliffe versus Kevin Josette.
Okay. Great. You got the easy ones. All right. Jonathan is 7-1 and Kevin is 10-3. I think Kevin's last fight I watched, he got beat up by Brian Battle. All right. Let's go for it. 3, 2, 1.
I got JM.
JM too. All right. So far, we're kind of even here. We got one different. All right. Jiao. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Wrong. I'll call him Wrong. Okay, Wrong versus Cody Steele. Cody Steele is 7-0. Wrong is 25-6. Jeez, there's a lot of guys with seven wins on this card. Where did they find these people? I've never heard of any of these people except for Kevin. Okay, you have your pick. 3, 2, 1. I'm going with Cody Steele. Yep, both got Cody Steele. All right. I'm glad that I'm picking the same as you on the prelims. This means it's more even. Your only way to win, I'm taking away from you. Okay. Ooh, Alexander Topuria, Ilya Topuria's younger brother. I think older brother, I think. He's 5-1, and he's taking on Colby Thickness. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I read that name wrong.
Colby Thickness.
Thickness. These names are great. No offense, Colby Thickness. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce your name, but it says Colby Thickness. I don't know what to say.
Do you have another marker?
Yeah, probably. Hold on. All right. Colby Thickness. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Colby Thickness.
You got Colby Thickness. I'm taking Alexander Topuria. If he fights anything like his brother, then I'm taking him. All right. Next up, we've got Wang Kong versus Bruna Brazil. I know who both of them are, actually. I think Wang Kong is the girl that puts the Joker makeup on.
Yeah.
And I know who Bruna Brazil is. She fights for the Fighting Nerds. You know what? Fighting Nerds are on top right now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wang Kong.
I got Bruna Brazil. The Fighting Nerds are doing work right now, so I'll stick with my Fighting Nerds. Tom Nolan versus Vladislav Borchev. Vladislav Borchev. The guy that got knocked down by Chase Hooper. The guy who's a striker and got knocked down by the grappler. That's how I'll always remember him as now. I like Tom Nolan, so I think I'm going to go with Tom Nolan. You can pick whoever you want, though. 3, 2, 1.
VB.
Okay, you got Vladislav Borchev. I've got Tom Nolan. Let's go Tom Nolan. He's one of the only guys on the prelims that I actually will probably tune into. I don't know if I'm watching these prelims. I think I might just find out the answers later. I don't know if I'm going to watch most of the main card, to be fair. We'll see when we get there. Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. I know who Jack Jenkins is. I think I might know who Gabriel Santos. Yeah, that picture looks familiar. I've seen Gabriel Santos before. Jack Jenkins is 13-3. Gabriel Santos is 11-2. Jack Jenkins is also fighting out of Australia. By the way, Tom Nolan was also fighting out of Australia. You ready? 3, 2, 1. I got Jack Jenkins. Okay. Now, moving up to the very exciting, very active, very well-known main card. I mean, there's not a single guy on this card that I've never heard of before. Except for at least 2 of them. All right. Francisco Prado, one of the guys that I don't know, versus Jake Matthews. I do know who Jake Matthews is. Jake Matthews is lit. Fighting out of Australia. Jake Matthews is 20-7. Francisco Prado is 12-2. All right. 3, 2, 1.
FP.
Oh, you got Francisco. I've got Jake Matthews. Let's go for Jake Matthews. I hope that Jake Matthews makes it to a title one day. I've been a fan of Jake Matthews ever since that knockout on what's his name? Andre?
Good fighters.
I don't remember his name. Okay, next up. No, these are not good fighters. These are not good names. Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. I've actually heard of Rodolfo Bellato before. I've seen him. I've seen that picture before. I know Jimmy Crute has been on and off for the past couple of years. 12-4 isn't a bad record, though. 12-4-1 versus Rodolfo being 12-2.
Yeah, why is it just Brazilian fighters versus...
Yeah, versus Australians, literally.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. I got Rodolfo. We both took Rodolfo. Poor Jimmy Crute. He's got no one backing him. All right. Now, Justin Tafa versus Taliesin Teixeira. I've never heard of Taliesin Teixeira before. He's 7-0, though. Could he be Glover's son? Who knows? All right. Justin Tafa, Taliesin Teixeira. This is a heavyweight bout. All right. You ready? Justin Tafa is 7-4 with 1 no contest, and Teixeira is 7-0.
You know what?
Ooh, he's changing it. This is gonna screw him over.
Right
3,
here.
2, 1.
Justin Tafa.
Okay, we both took Justin Tafa. Maybe he screwed me over. Okay. Now, time for the fights that I will actually tune into. Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez, I've been hyping up for years. She's 11-0. She's undefeated. She's beaten, I think, 2 former world champions, Alexa Grasso and Carla Esparza. Man, she's the uncrowned champ of the strawweight division. Zhang Weili, of course, great champion. Only 2 losses to Rose. I don't think any other losses in the UFC.
Very honorable.
She's great. She's been a great champion. Tatiana Suarez, though, man. All right, 3, 2, 1. Flip. Tatiana Suarez. Man, Tatiana Suarez has been on a tear. She has just come back. She is still winning. Still seems like she is en route for that title. And now she gets her opportunity. And I think Tatiana Suarez is going to walk away your women's strawweight champion. Now, the fight that we spent all of 2024 arguing about, the fight that we stood from January all the way through until December talking about, the fight that basically started this channel because we argued about it so much. Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards and Dracus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland were the reasons why we started this channel. They are the reasons why this is called the Hardcore and the Casual, because we argued about this every single day at work, and we are going to get to run it back. We did a fight review. If you guys want to go check out our review of the first fight, it'll probably actually be in a pop-up at the end of the video. Sean Strickland and Dracus Du Plessis, we did a fight review on it. We went round by round trying to get the official, like, who won, the official decision. I think that Dracus Du Plessis clearly won the middle 3 rounds the first time. You disagree. It's whatever. Who do we have this time? Dracus Du Plessis or Sean Strickland? Write it down. This is a tough one. You ready yet?
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Dracus Du Plessis.
Strickland.
You got Deshaun Strickland. I got Dracus Du Plessis. How do you think Sean Strickland will win the fight?
I think he'll actually get the finish this time.
You think so?
I'm betting for Sean Strickland.
When was the last time you saw Sean Strickland finish anyone?
No.
No? That's your answer? No? Brendan Allen, I think, is the correct answer. Brendan Allen, back in 2019, 2020, was the last time Sean Strickland has finished someone.
I'm very iffy about this fight because this fight could go either way, because it's like both of these guys had a very good fight against each other, and it's like they're pretty much like on the same level, and they both like recognize like, okay, I know what to do next time, so it's going to be an even better fight.
Yeah. I could see this fight going the exact same way as the first fight.
Another decision,
almost the exact same fight. Like, this is, if any fight is going to go the same way twice, it would be this one. Just because of their styles. Styles make fights. I think their styles matched up against each other, you get that fight 100 times out of 100 times. Do I think that Dracus Du Plessis can finish Sean Strickland? Yes, I do. Do I think Sean Strickland can finish Dracus? I do not.
Sean Strickland's very good at surviving rounds. And
that is true. That is why I think it will go to decision again. If I had to put money on it, I'd probably pick Dracus Du Plessis by decision.
Here's how it would go, right? So Sean Strickland, he would need a lot of good teeps. I mean, Dracus, he brings the takedown, but Sean Strickland pretty much gets up to his feet pretty much often. Right now would be the deciding factor. If he could still lead on the scorecards with his strikes while making it look like, you know, Dracus has like more damage and stuff, like more blood, even just a little bit more of that, I think that would be able to win him the fight.
So I So I think keys to victory for Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
He needs to work on countering when Dracus blitzes. Because when Sean is on the pressure and he's pushing Dracus up against the cage, he's doing real good work.
Yeah.
The problem is then Dracus will bounce off the cage and then blitz forward and kind of hit Sean with like 2 or 3 really big strikes.
Yeah.
And those will win him the round because all Sean's doing is just jab, 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 T-kit, jab, 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 left hand, jab, jab. And then all of a sudden Dracus, 1, 2, 3, knocks Sean Strickland all the way across the cage. That's a bigger thing for the judges than the jabs. Yeah. So I think the way Sean Strickland can actually avoid that happening is keep on the pressure, do that, and then when he blitzes forward, you have to stand your footing and counter. You have to throw an elbow, crash into Dracus. Yeah. Make sure that Dracus isn't pushing you backwards with his big running, swinging, because that's what's winning him the rounds. Yeah. Is those big movements, those big moments in the fight. So if Sean Strickland can plant his feet and make sure that Dracus doesn't blitz forward, he has to watch the takedown, but Sean Strickland is very good at getting back to his feet. So I really wouldn't worry about that. I would just worry about if Dracus blitzes at you, throw something big back at him.
Yeah, right.
Make sure that Dracus can't get to you. Make sure that you're the one getting to Dracus whenever he blitzes forward.
You know, you actually really do bring up a good point, because a lot of those times when he does blitz, if he misses, there's a lot of good opportunities to really hit that chin.
Yeah, exactly, because he's flailing. So if Sean can land something big on his chin while he's flailing, basically you got to turn into Anderson Silva against Forrest Griffin. You got to do that back pedal and the bang, just right down the middle.
Another thing, though, Dracus, he's so good at, I honestly, in terms of the UFC terms to NFL terms, he's like the Patrick Mahomes of the NFL. He's losing and he somehow magically finds a way to win that fight.
You talked me into it halfway through. You know, I wasn't sure where you were going with that at first, but you definitely talked me into it. I agree with that statement. I think keys to victory for Dracus: throw in takedowns. Even if Strickland gets back up, if the fight is even on the feet and you throw in those takedowns, those are what are going to win you the rounds on the judges' scorecards. So throw in takedowns whenever you can. Land damage when you throw in the takedowns. When you get him down, he's going to get back up. So don't even bother trying to keep him down almost.
Yeah. He always gets back
when
up.
you take him down, just start throwing hammers when he's getting back up. Every time he gets back up, just start laying him in. Remember when Strickland knocked down Izzy and then Izzy started getting back up and Strickland was just pounding on Izzy while he was standing and Izzy was like giving thumbs up? Those are big moments in the fight. That's what Dracus needs to do to Strickland. Like, take him down while he's getting back up, just uppercut, left, right. Just start wailing on him whenever you take him down. That'll give you the moments in the fight to win the rounds. Path to victory for Dracus: submission. I don't really see him knocking out Sean Strickland. I could see him getting a sub. Like, getting Strickland's back at some point. Strickland's, like, getting up. Dracus, like, sinks in a choke or something out of nowhere.
I don't know. I for some reason, I see Sean Strickland, like, getting the back up to the cage and somehow surviving.
I can see that, too. Like I said, my official bet would be decision, Dracus du Plessis. If he was to get a submission, I could see him getting a rear naked choke or something like that. In a scramble or something, just catching the neck. Other than that, I don't think there's much to talk about. We will do a live reaction, probably. We'll see. Maybe a live reaction, maybe not. Depends. I don't want to pay $80 for this card. There are other ways around that. Not doing anything illegally.
If we hit Buffalo Wild Wings, maybe.
Yeah. We can record at Buffalo Wild Wings. Other than that, I don't think there's much to talk about. Live reaction coming this weekend. Then we will do our review show, our breakdown show, next Tuesday probably. It'll probably be out Wednesday morning or something like that. Other than that, do you have anything else that you want to say? We've had a couple of busy weeks. We weren't here last week, so is there anything you'd like to get out into the world? You have as much time as you'd like.
This fight is a real itch because it's like okay, so I know that if Sean Strickland was to win, he did say something about in terms of him fighting Hamza that it's like, I don't care if we've been in the same camp. It's whatever. I'm here to fight. And then he's willing to fight Chimaev immediately right after. And so then I really don't know how the hype and build up between DDP and Chimaev will go, because I just don't see Chimaev just going out there and just winking DDP like that. I don't see him beating DDP at all. So I think Chimaev probably would need a tune-up fight, because the pictures I've seen of him, he looked pretty big, and then back in the ring, he looked like a chicken.
I don't know, man. I think Chimaev ragdolls both Sean Strickland and DDP. I think he makes both of them look
DDP's
like he's made everyone else look. I don't care. I don't care. No, he's not. He's not.
The middleweight goat.
He's like the 4th best middleweight of all time.
He beat Izzy.
That doesn't mean anything.
He beat Sean Strickland.
That doesn't mean anything. He's like the 4th best of all time.
He beat Robert Whittaker.
He's the 4th best of all time.
If
You're not going to get this past me. You're not going to slip Dricus du Plessis
the
into the GOAT of middleweight position.
Izzy.
No, he's not.
He's better than Izzy.
He's better than Izzy now. He's not better than prime Izzy.
He's better than Izzy. He's always been better than Izzy. Even if you would have fought Izzy for that title before Sean Strickland, he would have beat Izzy. He would have.
Dude, he was getting his ass whooped by Izzy until he got a lucky submission because Izzy tripped and lost his Izzy tripped and then he lost all center of focus. It is the same thing that happened with him in Imavov last Saturday. He got eye poked, he lost all his focus. Honestly, all you got to do to Izzy is make him lose his focus, and then he's a sitting duck. He lost focus, and then he got submitted. He was winning that fight up until that moment. That was in like the 4th round. He won like all 3 of the other rounds.
He was up 3-1. He was up 3-0.
Yeah, dude, Izzy was whooping the shit out of him.
Oh, dang.
His boxing was on point. He was digging to the body. He made Dricus look like he'd never struck before. And then all of a sudden, Dricus does what he does, and he got the back, and he got the submission. It happens, but honestly, Izzy is still that guy. Yeah. Like, he defended, like, 5 or 6 submissions from Dricus du Plessis in that fight.
Do you think
5 or 6 takedown attempts.
Do you think there's room for Dricus to improve?
Yeah, I do. I don't think that he's... I mean, if your style works, it works. But, I mean, Dricus du Plessis' style is kind of funky, dude. He doesn't exactly look like he's the best MMA fighter. He just does. He just does things, and it works. I don't know how. He's an enigma of the fight game, but that's kind of what I like about him. I kind of like that about him. It's kind of why I want to watch him fight. It's that unknown factor of, how's he gonna fuck things up this time and then come back and win. It's
crazy because it's like you have completely awkward versus super
technical.
Yeah, super technical.
It's like it's just like super technical. You only got like you got 3 moves. Yeah. You got your straight, you got your teat, and you got your overhand left. Those are your three moves that you have your jab from your left hand, your overhand right, and then your teep kick for Sean Strickland. Those are his 3 moves. Those are the only moves that he does, and he does them flawlessly. He has the best striking. Like he has like the lowest strike differential in the entire middleweight history. Meaning,
are you serious?
Meaning he's been hit in the head the least out of all the middleweights. Like the percentage wise, Sean Strickland has been hit the least. For how many times people have thrown punches. They miss, basically. Every time you throw a punch at Sean Strickland, you miss. That's basically... And he's the greatest of all time in middleweight at that. At making people miss. So he's soundly technical. He's
as technical
as it gets. And then Dricus du Plessis is just awkward, random, just weird fighting. And it made a really good fight last time. I hope it does again this time. So, we got all of our thoughts and our predictions out there. Time to wrap up the show. I think it's time to wrap up the show. So,
do you think...
we're at 50 minutes.
One more question.
Okay.
One more question.
We're at 50 minutes, so make it quick.
What's your question? Do you think Sean Strickland is more technical than John Jones?
In what aspect?
In every aspect.
Then no. If we're talking all-around fight game, then John Jones is more technical. If we're talking strictly striking, then it's Sean Strickland.
Sean Strickland at 205 beats John Jones. Right now.
Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I've been your host, Justin. This is what I have to deal with every week. This is my good friend, Elijah.
DDP's still the middleweight GOAT.
Thank you guys for watching. Catch us back for our live reaction. Catch us back for our breakdown.
He beat Sean Strickland.
And peace out.
Robert Whittaker? Dude, he beat all of them.